Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, finally, and if you can tell by my voice is screwed up. I've had laryngitis for the past, feels like forever, but I think it's been the past week maybe, so it's been kind of hard to talk. I've spent a lot of time whispering, but it's finally starting to come back, and I kind of finally feel comfortable talking to where I don't sound like I'm calling turkeys. Out in the wood shop, and it is 28 degrees. It's cold. It got real cold last night. I think it was 15 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and there's a time it's 8:35. Now, looking out my filthy windows here, I need to get up there and clean them things. The inside ain't no problem. Just these windows aren't double hung. This one is. I can pull that one in. But then I have to reach way up there to clean it, or I can just go outside and set up a ladder and clean it, which I'll probably do. Not today. Maybe after it warms up. Got a new addition to the wood shop here. This came yesterday. My new planer. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. I put this hose on it. It's got an adapter for a hose. And I suppose they sell a hose for that. That is not the hose that comes with it. That is off the shop back. This planer has a blower inside of it. So as the knives are cutting everything, it's got a vacuum that's pulling up here. It pulls a vacuum on it and it blows it out this hose. When I first ran this, I had it pulled out here, sitting sideways over towards the bandsaw and table saw. And I'm feeding the lumber in this way. And you can see down there, after cleaning, there's still big piles of sawdust. There was there's still even sawdust up on this window that I haven't got out of there yet. It was everywhere, stuck up on the walls. And I swept a lot of that off there, but there's some right there, top of that window. Yeah, so it made a mess. But I put that hose on it and had that hose sticking out that window, and that worked great. I don't know if you can see out there, it made a pretty big mess. I think you might be able to see it anyway. This is what I was working on at the end of the night. This is the top to a cabinet, and this is some of the red oak. It was dark, and I was routering the edges here, and I think you can see that little divot right there, and there's some divots right here. The router kind of got away from me, and I kind of screwed up a little bit, and when I come around this corner, I rounded it over too much, so I'll fire up the table saw later and snip that little bit off and then rerouter this. I don't have a router table, so I had the router sitting up like this, and I'm kind of holding it with one hand and then feeding the lumber around with the other hand, and it wiggled on me and it doesn't sit flat, so I have to get a router table. Now, of course, I could just flip the router over and do it like you're supposed to, but I don't have clamps to hold the lumber down. That's something else I need to. But anyway, just starting out. I'll show you something else I made here real quick. This is kind of what I made before it got real dark, and there's still some places that need kind of cleaned up. It's just a shelf. It's sitting sideways. It should look like that. This is the part that goes in the wall, and this is the top part of it. Nothing's attached yet. It's just routed over and sanded, and I've still got little things here and there that I need to clean up on it, and then figure out how I'm going to fasten it. I don't know if I'm just going to use brad nails or if I'm going to rabbet the joints or whatever. And it'll need lacquered at least. I'll probably leave it natural, as to say I won't stain it. Pretty happy with it, really like it, and this was the last little bit of lumber I had, so I gotta get more lumber now. Good stuff. Yeah, the bandsaw did really good. I noticed that this little guard, if you can see, maybe you can see better this way. You can see how it's been cutting off-center a little bit. There's no way to adjust the table out, and I can't really adjust the blade in without having constant pressure on these guides. So, whatever. I can just live with that. That's no big deal. Bandsaw works real good. Really happy with it. This little sander's pretty cool too. It does a pretty good job. First sander I've ever had that's variable speed. Well, it's kind of neat. Yeah, but yeah, the planer's, it's a beast, and I really, really like it. It's it's something I wish I had a long time ago. There's the router bits. It's got sawdust all over them. Nice little assortment there. I still need some more accessories, but, you know, that will happen in good time, I hope. And the chop saw's doing okay, but I think the blade's getting dull in it. It doesn't look bad when I look at it. There's no nicks in the carbide or anything, but I think it's just getting dull. It's kind of old, probably, 2 years or something like that. And I've used it a good bit, so. And I've been using it a good bit yesterday. You can see all the dust down there that I gotta figure out how to do this. When I do cut, I open the window to where the exhaust tube is right there under those guides, that black thing. That's where the sawdust spits out, so I just open the window and let the sawdust fly out. But, yeah, I need a better setup. I need to hook a vacuum system up in here or something. Maybe one of these days. But it's, oh yeah, I lost a battery too. Yeah, I don't like all that sawdust on that charger there either. That's for the drill, the border cable. That battery is junk. It won't charge and it keeps showing the error. I don't know if it got froze or if it got dropped or whatever, so I got one battery left. Now I'll probably need to order some more of those too. But that's on down the road. Okay, for those of you that's followed my channel for a while, probably remember me building a crystal ham radio. Well, I ordered another one. The last one that I built, I did a video on it and subsequently burned it up. I think I put a little too much power on it. This is another Pixie 40 meter CW radio, and what that means, QRP rig means 5 watts or less, and I think this is a 3 watts. I think, I might be wrong, it might be like a 1 watt, but this one actually has a case that come with it. It'll be kind of neat. This one actually, I like it a little bit better. Last time everything was just thrown in one bag. There's several bags here for this one, and of course it's got the little box that the circuit board will sit in. You can see what I'm doing there. Little bag of capacitors, resistors, transistors, electrolytic capacitors. There's a couple inductors, and you know, various other little LED, germanium resistor. I only see a couple transistors. I only see 2. I hope that's enough. I hope they didn't short me or something. This one has a B and C type antenna connector. Excuse me. Remove seal after washing. Whatever, dude. Little buzzer. Now, this will be kind of neat to do. I'm not going to do this today, but I just want to talk about it for a minute here. Pardon me. This came from across the pond, and I think it was like $5. They're not very expensive. And yeah, the circuit board is actually labeled to show what goes where. But of course, you know, you got to be careful, and some of these things are polarized, positive, negative, just so to say. But I don't know if it'll focus on that. You get the idea there. So that, yeah, it's a fun thing to do. I really like doing it. I'm not real good with code yet, Morse code, CW. I can do a little bit. I can do my call sign and I can talk, but it's like maybe 2 words per minute, and I have to have a cheat sheet in front of me to look at the DAWs and the DIT and all that good stuff. I guess this is the holder together parts for the little box here, maybe. I assume. Yeah, all this kind of just drops in like such, and yeah, well, you get the idea. And of course there's another one there that goes on, and then this thing, it snaps down in there, yeah. like that. But anyway, that's all about all the bigger it's going to be after this paper comes off there. It'll be clear. Very tiny, and it'll work good. It's 40 meters. I don't know what the frequency is. 7.030 hertz. Megahertz. So it'll be neat. I gotta get an antenna for it. I'll probably just make one out of old fence wire, or I may buy one. They're not very expensive, just a long wire. Let's see, 40 meter half wave is 60 something feet, so whatever, I can probably find 60 feet of wire, 63 or 65 or whatever feet of wire for the antenna, and then a piece of coax that has a BNC female on it to go into this. I don't know if I need an unin or a balun on that. I probably do. I have to actually look that up. Can't really remember all that stuff right off the top of my head, but I don't know, that'll be a video for another time. But this will be neat once I get it all together, and it's so small, and you add the 60 something feet of wire on this. If it's nice thin flexible wire, it'll probably be wrapped up about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. And then the coax, you know, depending on how far away you want to be from your antenna, maybe 20 feet of coax. So actually the coax will be the biggest thing. Oh, I need a key. The little, you know, the dee thing. I can probably just make one of those too. Actually, I might buy one. I think if I'm learning code, it'd be better to have a professionally made one. But yeah, this will be fun. It's on down the road. There's a variable. Okay, that's probably for fine tuning, I suppose, on that. It's only one frequency. Oh, that's another thing. You can't change the frequency on this unless you replace the crystal. There are some that have just a little bit bigger that'll have two separate crystals. You can't see what I'm doing. There's a crystal. Oops. Turn that down. There's some that have separate crystals and a switch where you can flip back and forth from, like, whatever, you know, this band to this band to this band, or this frequency on this band, this frequency on the same band, or whatever. But this one does not. It just has one set frequency. And this is a transceiver. It transmits and receives. But it's only CW. So anyway, I think I'm starting to ramble, and I'm not going to build this today. I've got too much crap to do. So this will be an upcoming video. I may do this weekend. We're supposed to get some snow, and it's going to be very, very cold. So if it does that and I decide not to go out and play in the snow, I may actually put this thing together. But anyway, that's a little update, and my voice is finally coming back, so I'll be able to hopefully do some more videos. So hope everybody's keeping warm, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.